Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Rule the Waves 2. It is episode number 6 of our Let's Play series. We're playing as Italy in the 1900 start date, and we are currently at war with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. We've been at war for 3 months. It is now October. The war started in July, and so far the war's been going well. You can see over here on the right side we have 4,839 victory points. The enemy has 1,107. We just fought a battle where we sank 2 enemy heavy cruisers. We won a major victory, gained 1 point of prestige, and that was a very positive result for us. We have Austria-Hungary blockaded as well, which means that that their trade and their stability are suffering penalties. With that being said, our own stability or unrest level is a little bit worrying at level 4, so we need to be kind of mindful of that as well. We're not planning to invade anywhere. If we think about Austria-Hungary, their map isn't super compelling from a warfare perspective. They only have 2 provinces in both Dalmatia and Austria-Hungary. If we can take Dalmatia, that would be great, but I'm not going to invade the Dalmatian coast. It is an area that Italy historically had claims over, so that would be a nice little prize in the event of a victory in a war with them. We have a better navy than them. I'm not going to go through all the details, but currently we have a battleship advantage of 3, a heavy cruiser advantage of 2. They're still building 2 more, but because we've sunk 3, they were going to have an advantage against us, and now they won't. Heavy cruisers are even. Destroyers are our advantage. Corvettes are theirs for the time being. They're building 30 corvettes. Good Lord. Wow. But we also have 30 submarines in service, and they have none. This is going to be our first turn with submarines kind of going all out at their shipping, and we've just ordered our submarines to operate with unrestricted submarine warfare, so we'll see if we can kind of ravage Austrian commerce. With that being said, yeah, that was a nice little quick 2-minute intro. Let's go ahead and move forward. The rebellion in the Marshall Islands continues. Patrolling heavy cruiser Carlo Alberto thwarts Austrian raider C.L. Erethismia attack on a merchant ship in the Mediterranean. Friendly victory points from trade war, 155. 30 operational subs. The enemy has 1 operational sub. They sank 0 of our merchants this turn. We, meanwhile, sank 31 merchant ships? Is that just this turn, or is that total? Maybe that's total. 31 merchant ships total, but that's only 2 months of submarine activity, so wow. That's pretty devastating. Trade disruptions from raider and submarine sinkings are causing hardships and food shortages in Austria-Hungary. That also is amplified because we have them blockaded. All right, so it looks like we're going to fight. So it looks like we're going to fight another coastal raid against Austria-Hungary. It looks like the same exact makeup as our last time. 1 light cruiser, some destroyer flotillas. Actually, we have 2 light cruisers. And then we have 1 heavy cruiser task force. The Almafi and the San Marco are our heavy cruisers, which means we've got those 2. And then we've got quite a few destroyers in our arsenal. Coastal forces, we have batteries, but no battleships. Last time we had a battleship, but it wasn't anywhere near. And it is daytime, so sea state is limiting. Oh, God, it's a gale. We have a gale. We're going to be fighting in gale force winds. Hopefully that at least limits his secondary batteries. I think all of ours are in casemates, too. Speed limited to 18 knots by weather. Well, all right. I guess we're just going to go. So we'll see what we spot. Our daylight sighting range is 1,200 meters or yards. What's this stuff up here? What's our objective? Sink any 2 enemy ships. Probably need to move closer to the coast if our objective is to sink their shipping. And we'll speed things up till we spot something. Alright. So I would like to pause. Unknown ship spotted. Thank God, because I was careening right for the shore. Meanwhile, the weather is now overcast, so I think the limitations on the sea state have changed. Sea state still is limiting ship speed according to up there, but not anymore, if I'm reading this right. All right. So it looks like nightfall is occurring, by the way. 2 enemy ships spotted over here on the flank. We're turning toward them, they toward us. Enemy ships are over here, by the looks of it. Are these DDs? Alright, we've opened fire on these. It looks like we're claiming one light cruiser of the Aurora class, 1 destroyer in the front or in the van. Oh god. We gotta be careful. I shouldn't be leading with my heavy cruisers. That's just asking for a torpedo hit. Back to light rain. I guess we're going to head back up to port then. Our objective is to sink enemy shipping. We haven't spotted any enemy cargo ships. We've seen some warships. Now, last time we ended, there was apparently still a lot of enemy shipping around. Did we just spot an enemy ship? Right, in this current state, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to order a flotilla attack because we're operating with such bad visibility and low clouds and all of this jazz that I think it makes sense to try to just close at the enemy and hit them with torpedoes. Be great if the weather got a little bit better. Okay, so we spotted an enemy destroyer. We're kind of chasing it. At least got 1 hit there. We keep kind of spotting it, and then it kind of ducks away, and then we spot it again, and it ducks away. Be great if we were better shots. Really don't want to take a torpedo hit here. Looks dead in the water. I'm guessing it's sinking. I mean, destroyers in this era are only like 500 knots, or only 500 tons, which means they have to be pretty vulnerable to, you know, a single large caliber shell hit. We're not really hitting much, though. The sea state's preventing accurate fire. Jeez. Alright, it's a Tiger-class destroyer. It's dead in the water. And it's sunk. Okay. So let's pause here real quick. Let's go back in here, turn off the flotilla attack, and we will try and go... I think we're going to try and go into the coast near Zara, and hopefully maybe there's some merchant shipping there. We spot another enemy ship. Alright, so once again, we're going to go ahead and order a flotilla attack. We're going to turn our heavy cruisers back around, and we'll see what this enemy ship is. It's another enemy DD. Wow, they fired a bunch of torpedoes. They never do that. I hate the idea of engaging an enemy destroyer with heavy cruisers. That's just asking for a disaster. But with the current visibility, I don't know what much choice we have. I also don't know where he went. So I guess we'll go back this way now. You'd think we would spot like an enemy merchant ship or something in their trade lanes in this area. Do we have flotilla attack turned off? All right, so it looks like there's an enemy merchant ship. So we should be able to sink this guy. Why no one's shooting at him, I don't know. Who spotted an enemy ship? Open fire, you guys. No one's shooting. No one wants to use their heavy caliber guns against it, maybe? We're hearing a couple of destroyers are firing some guns, but... Fuck! One of our destroyers struck a mine and is sinking. So we know there's a minefield over there. We know we're in a minefield, I guess. Why don't you guys flotilla attack him? Alright, so we sank the merchant. We'll turn the flotilla attack off now. So we've now sunk 2 enemy ships. We've lost a destroyer. They lost a destroyer. And we sank a merchant ship. I think that's been the extent of the action so far. Looks like one of our ships is caught. Alright, no opposing sides. Italian major victory? Really? This is calling it a major victory. We lost a ship destroyed. They lost a ship destroyed. They also lost an auxiliary. Whatever. I'll take a major victory, but it kind of seemed inconsequential. We get another major... we get another prestige? I mean, I guess it's because we had the successful coastal operation against their merchant shipping, maybe? I'm not sure I agree with that, but I'll take it. Meanwhile, we're up to 26 prestige in our 4th month of war. And Navy finances are in the red. You should do your utmost to get your finances in order, otherwise your prestige will suffer. Reduce 1 research or readiness levels. Okay. A spy from Great Britain has been discovered. I'm going to handle it discreetly because I don't want any more money right now. We have enough unrest. We lost 2 submarines this turn. It looks like we sank 30 merchant ships. So this is not cumulative. This is because we were at 31 last turn. We're at 30 this turn. So we have now sunk over 60 enemy merchant ships in the last 2 turns. Austrian cruisers did manage to sink 5 of our merchant ships. But we're still 5 versus 30. That's a huge advantage for us. Plus, they're still blockaded. Trade disruptions from raider and submarine sinkings are causing hardship and food shortages in Austria-Hungary. And there is a cruiser action near Sicily. So we'll go ahead and fight that. We'll see what we have here. We've got a light cruiser in the Cittavetica, and we've got some destroyers in our force. There are supporting forces consisting of more ships. We've spotted an enemy ship. We'll go to max speed, I think. Maybe not. I guess we didn't spot a ship. We got a report of an enemy ship. We didn't spot a ship. Alright, so we now have an enemy light cruiser, it looks like, that we've detected. The Achilles class. Our own light cruisers are moving in at 33 knots. Or, sorry, 23 knots. Let's pause here real quick. As long as it's just a single enemy light cruiser... I'm going to order a flotilla attack. Hopefully my destroyers will make a move it on the Achilles, and sink the damn thing. I don't remember what caliber class guns theirs are. Our light cruiser has 5 inches. I think most of theirs are 6 inches. Which obviously gives them a slight advantage. Depending on the classes involved, we might actually have more guns. We also do have expert gunnery as a skill that we've researched. I think our heavy light cruisers, at least according to some of them that I saw, have a slight, like a 1-knot speed advantage over theirs. Meanwhile, apparently there's more light cruisers up here that are not under my command. These are supporting forces. Looks like there might be an Austrian... Is that an Austrian light cruiser that's mixing it up with our light cruisers, or are those all ours? In any event, he's running into the AI light cruisers of ours, turning away from them. He's probably suffering a lot of damage at the moment, I would think. You can see we are scoring some hits up here. Not sure if he's running from home. Our light cruiser can only make 15 knots, though, so we are slowing up a bit. 7 5-inch guns for us. Be great if these AI light cruisers come up here. I don't think I can command them because they're part of the supporting force. But you can see quite a few hits on the Achilles class. Our own light cruiser's down to 13 knots. He's taking a lot of hits, but seems like he's winning the battle against us. Be great if my ships did more. He's slowing up too, though, so this might be a bit of a Pyrrhic victory for him if he sinks us. I'm hoping he's going to sink himself. One of our destroyers ran out of main ammo. Austro-Hungary has no ships left at sea. The scenario is over. All right, another Italian victory. It counts it as a major victory. He lost 1 light cruiser sunk. We lost 1 light cruiser with medium damage. Yeah, so that's good. So if we go to ship detail, the Fido has 8 6-inch guns. So again, this is one of her Fido. 8 6-inch guns. This is another one of their more heavily armored light cruisers. This battle just favored us by the makeup. He just didn't have enough ships in play. We have medium damage on the Citavicia, which is 4,800 tons, 8 5-inch guns. She's one of the Catena class light cruisers. Suffered moderate damage, 10 medium shell hits, 8 light hits. Meanwhile, claimed 23 secondary hits with our 3-inch guns, which are pretty small. His secondaries, I think, were bigger. And 23 hits with our 5-inch guns. So, good day for the Italian Navy again, as another victory is claimed in the war against Austria. Another major victory, no prestige points there, but another major victory, 985 victory points versus 216 of his. So that's the 5th year of war. We need to go ahead and pause some ships that are under construction. So we're going to go ahead and halt these of the Butcher class, which are still 22 months away. We'll leave the 16-month ones to go. We need to get our funds back in the black because we did run into the negative. That can cause both unrest and prestige penalties. I think eventually causing you to get fired or something. In any event, that's another victory. So with that light cruiser sinking, the Austrians are down to 14 light cruisers in their force. And then their destroyers are down to 25. I think they originally had 30-ish, or what's the ship sunk situation here? 3 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser. Apparently it's not counting the destroyers, which we sank. I know we did sink some destroyers, so I'm not sure about that. Meanwhile, Italy has lost 2 destroyers in this war so far. So it's a relatively light cost to bear. We'll go ahead and move forward into the 6 months. I don't know why there's a rebellion in the Marshall Islands. Research breakthrough on armor development for quality control, basic weight control for hull construction. The blockade is causing food shortages and privations in Austria-Hungary. We sank 28 more merchant ships. We did lose 1 more sub, so we're at 3 submarines lost. So we've sunk 28 or more merchants each of the last 3 turns. We did lose 4 merchants of ourselves. We are thinking the Italians or the Austrians have 2 submarines of their own operating, but they haven't sunk anything yet. But Austrian light cruisers have sank 4 Italian merchant ships. Meanwhile, a large battle is about to be fought. Another raid on coastal shipping off the coast of Austria. I'm going to decline that. I'll take the 180 victory point hit and the 255, so that gives them about 400. How many frickin'... Do we just... Okay, I was going to say, is there a point at which you don't have to fight a battle? I mean, we just gave them like 600 victory points. We're still winning by 3-1, by the way. But that was weird. All right, so we'll keep these battleships paused 1 more month, and then we'll be in good financial shape to resume at least 1 of them as we move towards the 7th month of the war. The enemy has sounded us out about a negotiated peace with us gaining disputed border areas in some of their colonies. What do we want to do? Don't let them get off cheaply. Press for hard terms. Peace negotiations founder on mutually unacceptable demands. Food is becoming scarce in Austria-Hungary due to submarine sinking of merchant ships. So we sank another 27 enemy ships. It looks like we lost one more sub, so our submarine casualties are mounting. We're up to 4 submarine losses, but we're still sinking more than 1 enemy merchant ship per sub per turn. We did lose 7 friendly merchant ships. We're losing a bit of trade ourselves, but again, still 4-1 in the differences. Trade disruptions from raider and submarine sinkings are causing hardship and food shortages in Austria-Hungary. So we got 2 notices that turn of food shortages occurring in Austria-Hungary. All right, we'll accept this battle. It's a medium-sized battle near Corfu, and we'll see what this thing has. Looks like we got 2 heavy cruisers, a Lombardia and an Umbria. These are our newer heavy cruiser classes. So we're gonna. Why am I not in control? Why can't I set the speed for these guys? Looks like it's grayed out. Not sure. All right, unknown ship spotted to the north. We'll turn this way at max speed. 23 knots. Heavy cruisers will turn north at 21 knots. And we'll see what to make of this. Looks like 2 enemy ships spotted. Good visibility in daytime. It's claiming they're battleships. I'm guessing they're not. Looks like they're heavy cruisers. And they are now running. If we can get our destroyers out front of them, that would be interesting. But I don't want my light cruiser to charge in there by itself. I think their heavy cruisers might be faster than us. Do we have any supporting forces? Just our forts. This isn't a coastal raid, right? Oh, we do have an objective of sinking 2 enemy ships. So it is a coastal raid. Alright, let's go a little bit faster. Yeah, their heavy cruisers seem to be outpacing us just slightly. Oh well, we can sail back along the Austrian coast. Maybe we'll run into some merchant shipping, or maybe they'll turn and fight us. The stokers are going to get tired. We're losing some speed. They need to clean their coaling grates or whatever. We're going to burn through all our fuel. I don't know what the signals were, but apparently some signals were misunderstood. We're chasing the Italian or the Austrian Navy north, north, north to no avail. But we'll run up north toward Cartaro. Maybe there's some shipping up that way. They're probably going to run into port. This is a super exciting, fun extravaganza battle. You'd think they would lose some speed too. Like, wouldn't their stokers get tired? Maybe they realize, like, shit, guys, we can't beat... it's probably because we have the destroyers. I was going to say, it's not like... I mean, their ships have heavier guns, although they have lost 3 heavy cruisers so far in this war. Okay, we lost sight of them. Lame. No result for that battle. They had 12 merchant ships somewhere. We had 6 and 1 sub. Looks like... I don't even know where the merchant shipping was. Maybe all up here? Are these coasts or are these ships? Those are coastal batteries. Never mind. They have a lot of coastal batteries around there. That's something we got to be careful of if we ever try and close with them. Battle was a draw. Nothing came of it, but the merchant shipping continues to play havoc on their trade. We've been at war for 7 months. We'll go ahead and leave the battleships paused one more turn. The regime in Austria-Hungary is racked by unrest and demonstrations. They have been forced to accept a peace with us, gaining disputed territories. Allowed value of 8. So we can take Dalmatia. Yes! It's the only province of Austria we can take, but we can take it. All right. So Dalmatia, I assume... All right, so Austria has scrapped a whole bunch of ships they had under construction, mostly corvettes. Do we still have our corvettes under construction, or did they get scrapped too? Yeah, I guess corvettes can't be built during peacetime. So those all got scrapped. Meanwhile, our naval budget dropped by about 80,000 per year. Our unrest level fell to 1. And so the people are happy. We won a war. The prestige is good, 27. Is anybody building dreadnoughts yet? Doesn't look like it. What about our country? If we go to the almanac and we go to nation data, base resources 16,000 from possessions 654. Trying to remember, Austria had possessions of 100. So we get their 100 resources from Dalmatia. I'm assuming that's where their resources were coming from. Base resources remain unchanged, but the Dalmatian resources are added to ours. So we get a modest increase, about 1/6 increase in our overall possessions. Not a ton, but not insignificant. And if we go to the map here, we'll see that we took the region of Dalmatia here along the Adriatic coast. So the Adriatic is becoming an Italian coast, an Italian sea, with the seizure of both of these. Austria-Hungary has their primary territory still, but we now have Dalmatia, which has a base capacity of 60. It's a value of 4. No oil, has 3 ports, and so that'll be nice. So there you go. The Italian kingdom has expanded for first and probably not the last time in this game. It is 1905. Things are going well, I think. It is March of 1905. And even with the reduced naval budget, we are still okay in terms of a funding perspective. We can't mothball our submarines, unfortunately. We can generate a picture for our subs. Nope, that'll give us an error. Can we generate a picture for... Oh, you can build like a... So this is... I always see people like build an image for their ships. Oh, that's ugly. Because I don't have a superstructure or anything. So like... we could do a ram bow. Raised forecastle. Alright, so we can make these changes. Whoa. I don't know how to... Like, how do I put... Oh, sweet. So you can, like... So we can... Why would the superstructure be behind... Yeah, okay. Oh, that's so cool. That's a gigantic mast. So we could add like this. Ah, that's so cool. So we can make like our image. We have accessories too. I don't know what all these things are. Looks like it's another gun. I mean, it doesn't actually change the combat characteristics of the ship, but it's still kind of cool. I mean, you get like... Put these little anti-aircraft guns all over here, or whatever it is. Cool. All right, so we have an image for one of our battleships now. The picture of this battleship. So yeah, most of my battleships don't have an image. That's an ugly fucking ship, by the way. But that is the look of the Italia class. And you can do that for like all your cruisers and other things like that. I don't think you can do that for submarines. Yeah, there's no submarine image model in the game yet. So there's that. Let's do this. I don't really want to have 26 subs, so we're going to scrap 6 of our subs. 2, 4, 6. So then we're just going to have 20 submarines in our navy, which still makes us by far the largest submarine fleet in the world. We'll go ahead and resume construction on one of the battleships. I need to finish both of these suckers. You can see tensions reduced across the board. And honestly, let's actually halt both of these. I need to build bigger docks. So we're going to spend 3.2 million on bigger docks so I can start looking at building a dreadnought. I don't think I have the technology researched yet to build a dreadnought. Or do I? I did. I must have researched 3 centerline turrets. So theoretically, we could build a dreadnought with 6 main guns, a 6-gun broadside, with up to 13-inch guns. I don't think I want to do that yet. I don't think that's a strong enough battleship. A battlecruiser could be interesting, though, with 3 main guns. Would we add a turret to the midship? Yeah, so we could do like 3... We could do like 6 guns on the battlecruiser. Just have her be really fast. But we need larger docks. Right now the USA is up to 22,000. I would like a larger dockyard. I don't think I would build a battleship with only 6 main guns, but I might build a battle cruiser with 6 main guns. We'll have to see. But we'll probably wait a few months. I don't think anybody else is building those yet. Doesn't look like it. Oh no, the British are building 3 dreadnoughts, according to this. So the British are building 3 dreadnoughts. The French are building 0. Austria's building 0. Russia's not building any. So according to intelligence, the British are building 3 big-gunned dreadnoughts. Do we know anything about them? We don't have any intelligence on them other than they're just shy of 20,000 tons, and they were laid down in their year. How is their year 1907? Oh, the estimated completion date. Oh, that's interesting. So their estimated completion date is 1907 and 1908. With that being said, now that we're at peace, we're going to go back to high intelligence on everybody because I want to try and steal technology. You can steal technology from other countries. So we'll do that. And you can see that really causes our budget to fall a bit, even with the 2 battleships under construction. I have no money. All right, so let's do this. Because we are now at peace and war is unlikely with anybody, we are going to go ahead and we are going to put 4 of our battleships into the reserve, or 5 of our battleships into the reserve fleet. Only 2 active battleships. I think that's somewhat realistic. I'm not going to mothball any of my battleships, but we're going to send some of them to the reserve fleet. And then we're going to do the same thing for the Marco Polo heavy cruisers. 10 of those ships will go to the reserve fleet. The Bari-class light cruisers are going to go to the reserve fleet. And that will get us into a better financial position. We could mothball them and save even more money, but I think that would be a little bit silly. Also kind of ahistorical. You might not have a lot of your ships like actively out doing naval maneuvers, but you're probably not going to have the bulk of your fleet in mothballs if you're an empire in this period of time. So we'll do that. That gives us up to about 2.6 million. It does impact crew quality, so it's something you got to be careful with. But anyway, it helps us save a little bit of money, gets us to 2.7 million positive per turn, and that lets us then go ahead and resume construction on the other Butcher-class ship. These 2 aren't going to be done until the first British dreadnoughts are coming off the ways. Meanwhile, the rebels in the Marshall Islands have defeated German forces. The Marshall Islands have now declared their independence. Unexpected advances in machinery technology. Steam turbines. Considerable weight savings on machinery. That is great. Steam turbines are going to be great. Okay. Our scientists report they're tantalizing close to inventing capped AP projectiles. Research breakthrough a gyroscope on torpedoes that improves range of and speed of torpedoes. Research breakthrough. Main battery wing turrets enables main battery wing turrets on ships. Meanwhile, we're also developing new technology in anti-submarine warfare, which is good. So now, if we were to design a ship... Yes! Yes! We now have the ability to have wing turrets and 3 on the center line. So we can now build a sort of classical dreadnought, an classical early dreadnought ship. Part of me wants to wait 9 months until we actually have the dockyard to build a bigger one. Part of me doesn't, though, because we know the British are building 3, or at least we think the British are building 3. If we go here, the French are not building any. Austria. So we could get a leg up on everybody else if we start building dreadnoughts now. The problem is we don't have any money to build dreadnoughts right now, but we probably could lay 2 down, maybe slow the Butcher class. They're going to come out way late. We could even scrap them all together, but that would probably be unwise. I'd rather have them replace some of my pre-dreadnought ships that we could then scrap, and then just have a more capable sort of quasi-dreadnought here as our how fast are these things? They make 22 knots, so they could keep up with the early dreadnoughts, probably true. Okay, so we need more budget. Wait, do we have an alliance with the French? Tensions are 0 with the French. That's interesting. Huh. Anyway, so peace in our time, victory for Italy, and that's going to do it for today's episode. I appreciate you guys tuning in yet again for episode number 6 of our Rule the Waves 2 Let's Play. We are into June of 1905, and I think in our next episode, we're going to design our first Dreadnought battleship. Probably be somewhat flawed like the original Dreadnought with the wing turrets. We don't have super firing turrets or anything like that. But it'll be nice to have. I wish I had better guns. The -1 quality main guns is a bit of a pain in the ass. Our 10-inch guns are the biggest guns that we have at quality 0. But it's the 12 and 13-inch guns are still much better at penetrating armor than the 10-inchers. So, well, we could do battle cruisers with 10-inch guns. We could go real fast. What's the difference? So the 10-inch gun has a range of 11,400 yards. A 12-incher is 12,000. So about a 1,000-yard difference in range, 900, I guess. 4 inches of armor penetrated 11,000 yards for the 10. The 12 penetrates 5, so a full inch extra at long range. At short range, 5,000 yards, 77.4 inches of armor penetrated versus 5. Wow, that's a pretty big difference. So the weight savings would probably not be worth it. 8.5. Wow, the 13 inches penetrates even. So there's a pretty big quality drop-off. The only real use in having a 10-inch gun battlecruiser would be if we were to want to use it basically as a commerce raider, I guess. Because we're probably not going to assign their battleships to commerce protection. But with all of our submarines, it's kind of like, well, what's the point? We could, if we gave 10-inch guns, that would save us a lot of weight. So let's say 110 shells, 10-inchers, just on a generic design. Do we have ship identified as a heavy cruiser? Change type and continue. Really? I thought we had developed. Maybe the secondary turrets had only been developed on battleships. In any event, we could have them go very, very fast. Okay. I mean, this would be a hell of a armored cruiser. The interesting thing is this armored cruiser would probably fare pretty well into the era of into the like World War II era almost. This is the kind of cruiser that might stick around for a long time, even though she's not technically a dreadnought. The thing is, she'd be huge. She'd be a 19,600 ton heavy cruiser. I mean, that's a battle cruiser in all but name. It's an interesting idea, though. We're not going to go with that design. We'll figure it out next time. We've been going for almost 40 minutes now. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in yet again. We'll figure out what we're going to do with our ship next time around. Until next time, though, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.